Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Shimmer Reach. I'll be doing my most anticipated reads for January, February, and March. Before I get started, if you're new to this channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below as well as hit the notification bell. But guys, I literally cannot believe it's already end of the year and we're already talking about 2023 now. Like, it's honestly so crazy because I feel like 2022 just started. Like, not much time has passed, but at the same time, so much fucking time has passed. So anyways, let's start off with January. I also want to say that I am shocked by how many freaking books are coming out for January, because usually this list, like this video, is mostly me going towards like my most anticipated reads where I'm like, these are the select few that I am super excited for, definitely will get my hands on, will either order them immediately or pre-order them or get them from boxes, etc. Like, somehow I'm getting my hands on these books. But for January, I had the hardest time narrowing these down. So January has a ton of books, I feel like. The first one, of course, is The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. This one comes out on January 3rd. This is supposed to be a spin-off series. It follows Jude's brother Oak and a changeling queen, Surin. I don't know anything else about this book, but obviously I'm like super excited because I love the Cruel Prince series. Like, absolutely love them. I know it's very toxic in terms of relationship and there's lots of, you know, not the greatest messages out there, but like, it's just a fun read and it's just so entertaining, guys. Like, I love it. So obviously I'm really excited about this one and just continue on with the world, and hopefully I'll get more about the characters from the previous series, but definitely cannot wait to read this. Then the next one is Song of Silver, Flame Like Nights by Emily Wen Zhao. This one is also out on January 3rd. This is a book that I pre-ordered. Also, I pre-ordered Stolen Heir too, if that's not obvious. I pre-ordered both of these books because obviously I'm like, cannot wait for these to come out. But this is a fantasy that is set in ancient China where it follows a girl who somehow holds a powerful ability that is hidden in the mark on her arm, and a boy who is a practitioner whose power somehow needs to be hidden from the world. And one day they end up meeting and this boy recognizes that mark and the ability that it is hiding, and somehow the two of them have the ability to either save their country or destroy the world. I am super psyched for this. It sounds so good, plus this cover is absolutely stunning. Then the next book I'm excited for is A Ruinous Fate by Kylie Smith. This book comes out on January 3rd. This book is about a powerful witch that is shunned by her own coven, and now she is in hiding for two best friends. But like all witches, her magic is tied with the witch's dice, which is this powerful artifact that somehow gives witches their powers. But she's hiding a secret because she is somehow only 3 rows away from becoming the last blood warrior, as well as starting the final war that will somehow end all magic and her own people forever. So now she is basically journeying off to find a way to change her fate once and for all and to stop this from becoming true. This book sounds so freaking good, so I'm really excited about this one. The next book over here is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which comes out on January 10th. This is the sequel to Ninth House, which obviously I'm excited for. I feel like this is a book where I feel like I'm excited for it purely because of all the excitement, not because I'm actually excited for it, because I didn't care much for Ninth House itself. That being said though, I am curious to see what things will eventually come of it, because the first book for me was very okay, but I want to know what happens next, you know? Like, it's Leigh Bardugo, like I'm still committed, so very excited for this either way. Then this next book is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, or is it Fawcett? I think it's Fawcett. This one's out on January 10th, and this follows a professor who journeys from her small town to the north where she can study fairies and fae folklore, but she somehow ends up discovering dark fae magic. The next book that I'm excited for is City of Nightmares by Rebecca Schaeffer. This book is also out on January 10th, and all I know is that this book is supposed to be reminiscent of Strange the Dreamer, and I am already sold because Strange the Dreamer is probably one of my favorite series of all times. I have a few books up there in my like top 10 books of the year, and this was very high on that list, and to this day I have very good memories of myself reading it, and definitely a series that I will cherish for a long time. So when this book shows that it's supposed to be similar to that, I'm like, I'm here for it. Then the next one is Mysteries of Thorn Manor by Margaret Rogerson. This book is out on January 17th, and this is a novella that features Sorcery of Thrones characters, which I am excited for. Like, I love Sorcery of Thrones. This is another one where it's like very high on the list. Absolutely adore the book. Definitely cannot wait to read more about these characters, even though I don't think we have a like sequel, or I don't think there's any sequel in mind, but the fact there's a novella, I am so excited. Then this next book is Spice Road by Maya Abraham. This book is out on January 24th. This book follows a girl called Imani who is supposed to protect her kingdom because she was raised to fight these monsters. But now she must fight her own brother who's apparently the greatest threat to the kingdom right now. I'm super curious as to what led to this. Like, obviously he betrayed the kingdom, but what did he do and what was his reasoning behind it? I'm like really curious about all of this. And of course, the last and final book that I'm excited for January is Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This one is out on January 31st. This is the third and final book to the series, and honestly, I'm so here for it. I've only read the first one so far because I've been waiting for the rest of the series to come out, and now that it is almost here, I cannot wait to just finish off the series and, you know, see what other spin-off series that she's coming out with, because she has so many and they're all in the Shadowhunter world. It's wild. And then these are all the books that I'm excited for that's coming out in January. Moving on to February. I only have a single book, which is amazing, and that is A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. This book is out on February 28th, and this is a prequel to The Priory of the Orange Tree, which I really enjoyed. I think I did a whole dedicated reading vlog years ago. I'll link that above and down below if you search it out, but I'm excited for it. This is also another behemoth of a book. I want to say it's like 900 pages or something like that. It is thick, and obviously I already pre-ordered it because I'm here for it. So I definitely can't wait to see this book and kind of like dive into the world before everything happened in The Priory of the Orange Tree. And I also believe that there's supposed to be like a sequel after this book. It might be another prequel book, I'm not sure, but it's still in the same world. So I'm super curious to see like what else will happen in this world. Now, February was super short and sweet. Moving on to March, I have 3 books I am very excited for. The first one is The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi by S.K. Chakabori. This one is out on March 2nd. This is supposed to be a new trilogy by this author about sorcery and pirates and one woman's determined quest to seize a final chance at glory. Obviously, I'm excited for this book. I really enjoyed The City of Brass, the David Bott trilogy. Highly recommend that series. So obviously, I'm so excited to find another book by this author. The next book over here is Defiant by Brandon Sanderson. This book is out on March 16th. This is supposed to be another sequel to the Skyward series, but I do have to say that the information I found online is very scant. It's very like, there's not even a cover. And I'm like, I know it's still a couple months later, but usually covers are already out. Like, I have covers for all of these books. So the fact that the cover for this one's not out yet, it makes me wonder if this might be pushed back. But as of right now, when I'm filming it, it is supposed to be out on March 16th. So we'll see if that happens or not. And the last and final book that I'm excited for is Chaos and Flames by Tessa Gratton and Justina Ireland. This book is out on March 28th. And it's supposed to be a new duology about ancient magic, warring factions, and a romance between 2 people in the world with the most reason to hate each other. Who else loves a good love-hate relationship? Like, enemies to lovers? I'm so here for that. Like, cannot wait. So anyways, these are all the books I'm excited for the next couple months. Let me know down below which books are you excited for. Did I miss anything? I feel like for some reason whenever I do these, my list is very primarily like fantasy. I don't know why that is. I feel like romances for me, they're not books that like immediately draw my attention. I usually get more interest in them when I see other people interested and they keep talking about it, and then it piques my interest. But for the most part, like fantasy, for example, like the covers immediately draws me in. Romances, that's not really the case, and that's why I usually like, I've noticed that when I was doing this list, I was like, how come I haven't picked up any romances or anything like that? Like, none of the covers are like immediately enticing for me. It's usually after people talk about it, and then I'm looking at the cover and I'm like, you know what, this is actually really freaking cute. Let me go pick it up. But it's not like a fantasy where it's like, dude, that cover looks sick, you know? Like, that's not the vibe I usually get from romances. So I do feel like I need to do better in terms of like finding romances or like historical fiction or something like that, because mine are all like very fantasy heavy. But like, my love for fantasy is still far superior compared to other genres. But I do feel like there's other genres out there that I'm also excited for, but I just like they didn't pique my interest when I was going down the list this time. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to wait to see like what other people are interested in for the next year, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm excited for this fantasy, I'm excited for this thriller, I'm excited for this historical fiction, you know what I mean? But yeah, so let me know down below if I missed anything that you're like, dude, you should really check this out, because I'm definitely missing some books, I feel like. But as always, if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. And if you want to see more content of me, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below, as well as the notification bell. And as always, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!